finally on a motorcycle which has possibly been one of the most requested motorcycles on Living It Up ever since it was launched, which is the KTM 250 Adventure 2025. And for good reason, because at least on paper this one has so much going for it. So it's essentially the 2025 KTM 390 Adventure X with the new SOHC 250cc engine plonked in. So you have all the benefits that we have enjoyed on the X. So you have the same long travel suspension, which means you have 200 mm travel at the front, 205 at the back. You have the same 228 mm of ground clearance. You have a seat height still, which is still very approachable at 825 millimeters. And you have an overall package which is still a solid 5 kgs lighter than the 390 Adventure X because of the lighter 250cc engine, which we have tried and loved on the Duke 250 and which continues to make 31 PS and 25 Newton meters of torque. You get the same 14.5 liter tank. And yes, while this one doesn't get all the electronic bling in terms of no riding modes, no traction control, no IMU like on the Adventure X now, you still get the same TFT dash, you get switchable ABS, and you get the lovely bi-directional quick shifter. When you look at the entire package and you see the price of 2.6 lakhs, this is a lot of motorcycle for your money. And when you open up the engine and you crack the whip, the engine also comes alive. And that's also down to the fact that they have changed the final drive on this motorcycle. It's shorter compared to the new Duke 250. That one has a 1443 setup. This one has a 1446 setup, essentially to account for the additional weight on the Adventure and perhaps to also help with the tractability of this motorcycle, which was a problem on the Duke 250. It would only get on after 5,000 RPM. Let's try with this one. So third gear is good. I'm going to go down 2,000 RPM. Interesting. It's not that much better. And I don't think that this one also gets the crawl feature, which we really liked on the 390 Adventure, which really helped improve that bike's tractability. So I'm not sure why this one doesn't get it. Also, when you start riding at this speed, after a shot of adrenaline, and you're riding at a more calmer pace as you would when you're going for a longer haul, unfortunately, I think this is also where all our dream starts coming apart, because the one thing which really impressed me on the Duke 250 was its refinement. Yes, the performance had improved a little bit. The bike height became lighter, which is great, but more than anything, I loved how refined the motor felt. And so I was secretly hoping that it would be the same case on the 250 Adventure, but I don't think that's the case, because I'm in the third gear. And yeah, around 5,000 RPM, there's this resonance coming on to the foot pegs. It's calmed down. And yeah, already at 6,500 RPM, I can feel the tinge coming back in. Oh wow, and it's only getting stronger. The vibes are only increasing. Settles down a little bit in the higher gear, but no, again, they're back. Kind of disappointing, because I thought for sure on this bike it would be a lot more refined. I mean, in terms of everything else, right? It checks the box in terms of as soon as you get on it, in these corners, the bike feels really, really agile, really quick on its feet, very easy to handle, even for new riders. Because for an adventure bike, it is quite a light motorcycle. And the weight distribution on this continues to shine. Even the ergonomics are nice and upright when you're sitting down or even standing up, perfectly positioned. And yeah, going over this bumpy road, the ride quality again continues to shine on, which is almost a given with KTM motorcycles now, because you have enough travel and they really do a really good job with their damping. So even the ride quality on this is perfect. But yes, I am really disappointed with the refinement on this engine, man. It's not there. And that was the one thing which I thought would be this bike's trump card, because as far as the other things go, they continue to stay the same. So in terms of the ergonomics and the lower seat height, they are definitely a big boon for shorter riders, but for taller riders like me, if you're 5'11" or taller, this rider's triangle is going to feel quite cramped, and it's not really suited for long hours in the saddle unless KTM offers a taller accessory seat, which I don't think they will. And it's the same for the pillion as well, because the pillion's rider's triangle is even more cramped, and also the seat, although well padded, it's not really big enough to support and comfort a pillion for longer rides. And it's the same thing with the windscreen as well. It works quite well up to 120, but thereafter, if you're 5'11" and taller, there is a decent amount of buffeting. And one more thing which I noticed, let me just try it again. Let me pick up the pace as we are approaching the corner. Here we go. Oh wow, yeah, I was right. I'm pretty sure this one doesn't get the sinter brake pads as the 390 Adventure. I think this one gets the organic brake pads, like on the X, if I remember correctly. And they are clearly not cut out for the job. They don't inspire the same amount of confidence as on the 390 Adventure. They might save you a little bit of money, but I don't think it's money that you should be saving, especially when it comes to braking. That's the one thing which you really want your motorcycle to do well, which is stop when you want it. And there's one more thing. I don't know if it's just this particular motorcycle, but even the fit and finish on this seems definitely a step down. There's a lot of vibration coming from this panel right here. Even these panel gaps is something which I don't remember seeing being so apparent on the 390 Adventure. It just doesn't seem like a motorcycle which has been as well put together. And to be fair, I did reach out to KTM India to see if they had another 250 Adventure which I could try to verify this, but they did not have any other motorcycle, and they did confirm that this is pretty much what you can expect on any and every 250 Adventure. And if this is how it is put together, that's another thing which has left me wanting. So, really sad, really sad. I gotta admit, I'm really sad, because somewhere in my mind I was convinced that this is going to be the motorcycle that I thought it will be. I knew that ergonomically it's not going to fit my 511 frame as well, going by my experience on the 390 Adventure as well as the X, but I was sure that at least on the refinement front this would be a no-brainer, considering that it's a much smaller engine, it's not as high strung, and going by how refined it felt on the Duke, I was sure like this would be the motorcycle for pretty much everyone, because it brings so much value to the table. Unfortunately, I think something has gone wrong at KTM, in the sense that they have designed both the engine, the 390 as well as the 250, really well in terms of performance as well as refinement, but there's been a mismatch of that engine and this chassis. The resonance has just not come together. It's a crying shame, because both of these bikes, if they were as refined as the Dukes, as the respective Dukes, they would have been almost perfect packages. And again, in terms of the ergonomics, I feel it's still a pretty easy job, especially for someone like KTM, to just offer a taller seat, and then we would have had motorcycles which would be for everyone and which would pretty much check all the boxes that you need them to check. I think this is a huge opportunity which has gone missing for KTM, and honestly it's just a crying shame, because there's just so much potential here which has gone untapped.